This is the blog Asia, and I just wanted to follow up with the orthography, aka the alphabet, and certain things you probably want to know for reading and writing. First off, I'm going to talk about the schwa. To schwa or not to schwa is the question. A lot of times, schwas are written when they're not necessary because going from one consonant to the other, your mouth automatically says the sound. So, for right now, we use schwas to break up double consonants. So, like the word oops. We put that schwa in the middle because it's just kind of hard on the eyes, for the readers and stuff to see two C's back to back like that. So it breaks up those double consonants, oops, kikawapa, and you put that schwa in between. Another way that the schwa is used, for instance, is to kind of figure out where the voicing is. So, for instance, the difference between S and X raised W and S schwa X raised W is suh and suh. So that suh kind of gives, the schwa lets you know that it's suh and not suh. Suhmayam, suhpuklam, suhil. For instance, I've seen the word snuxtia written with the schwa. And so the difference between this word and this word is this says snuxtia and this says sunkstia. And so the schwa does make a little bit of an extra sound. And the biggest use I see it for is just to break up these double consonants and just to make sure you know where the voicing is going to go. I see it at the front of words too, like ek. This means to have, like she has a ball. And so without the schwa there, I would just say kishpukula, but with the schwa there, it says akpukula. And so it helps you there as well. So sometimes deciding to schwa and not to schwa is kind of hard, but that comes with a lot of practice and just a lot of being able to kind of hear it. So that's the schwa. So it can't just go anywhere, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Glottals and glottal stops. So glottals only go on consonants. The consonants that they go on So these are, I'm pretty sure these are all the consonants that the glottals go on, and these consonants are glottal. The glottal does something different for these and for these. These consonants are called sonorants, which I gotta give a shout out to Audrey Vincent right now because I forgot what these are called. So she helped me out with that. These are called sonorants, and basically the sonorants just kind of gives that little or or r. It kind of gives it that little cutoff pop to it. And these are called obstruents, and these just make the letter harder. So you have the t and the p and the k. So these glottals make these letters harder, while these glottals just kind of cut them off and make them pop a little bit. I also want to talk about stresses. Because stresses are kind of in the same category as glottals a little bit as far as marking goes. Stresses only go over vowels. So you have, and actually schwas don't get stressed ever. These are all the vowels we have in the Salish language. We do not have a full E, and we don't have the O sound, so we don't say eh or O. And this is how these vowels look when they're stressed. And basically what stressing is it tells you where you're going to emphasize what vowel you're emphasizing in a sentence. So the example that I like to talk about is Chef Boyardee, and I grew up hearing it, oh, let's have some Chef Boyardee in a can. And so I was watching a commercial one time, and it was a really old school commercial, and the actual Chef Boyardee comes out, and he says, hi, I'm Chef Boyardee. And that totally just blew my mind because I'm like, Boyardee? What do you mean it's Boyardee? It's Boyardee. But the difference between Boyardee and Boyardee is just the stress. And so the stress helps you read a word that you haven't heard before, and it just helps you kind of figure out how that word is pronounced. So yeah, stresses only go over vowels. The schwa is not stressed, mainly because it is the lowest kind of vowel, and it's so that you never really emphasize that sound. It's usually or e or oo. And you can't stress consonants, and you can't glottal vowels. So just to clear that up. And the wedge, like for the X, that only goes on the X's. X's can't be glottaled. X's can't be stressed. Does this record all the way down here too? Okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is something called diphthongs, which is one of my favorite linguistic words. And basically what a diphthong is two letters that come together to make one sound. So in Salish, we have, these are two basic diphthongs. There's the AY and the Schwa Y, or you can even, have them glottaled like that. So the AY together makes the long I sound, and then the EY together makes the long A sound. So if you were to say, this is a good example, white instead of Y or whatever, or Y, it says white. So these two together just make one sound, I. I'm trying to think of Schwa, Y, A. Anyway, edit that out. What else is there? Diphthongs. I guess the TS can be a diphthong sometimes in a word. And this isn't a hard and fast rule at all. It's just sometimes when the T and the S are written back to back like that, it makes the ch sound. But it isn't always like that. But just so you know, if you're hearing that ch sound and you see the TS, then that's why. The vowel I can be a tricky one. From my experience of just reading and writing Salish, a lot of the times when an I comes after the letter Q or a wedged X, any of the Q's or any of the wedged X's, the I following actually makes like an I sound. So if you were to say the word chaylam, it says I, so it doesn't say E. It's not chaylam, it's chaylam. Or Aipwa. So instead of Aipwa, it's Aipwa. And sometimes it makes the I sound. So like in the word pecham or pek, it makes more of an I sound versus the E sound. Or the word étroit, it makes the I sound. So those are my basic orthography tips today for this video. So if you have any questions, please write it down in the comments and I'll try to answer them as best I can. Bye.